Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Libations. My name is Jake Green. I'm here with a couple guests. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves? Zach, you go first, buddy.
It's just me, Zach. Nothing really to
What's your
say about
title,
it.
Zach? Come on, Zach.
I don't do that. No, I'm chair of the LP Georgia.
There we go.
Somehow, don't know how I got here, but
All right. I
Nice,
love
man. Yeah, don't be modest, bro. What's up? I'm Dave. I'm a Meekhawk. I host a podcast called Dave versus Goliath. I'm the chair of the Libertarian Party of Newcastle County of Delaware.
Okay.
I'm board member of the state party, and yeah, man.
What's it like living in Delaware?
Oh, it's paradise. Have you guys ever been here?
I don't think I've ever been to Delaware.
People don't even know it. It's drive-through territory for a lot of people. So we're really close to Philly. Maj Touré is probably like 30 minutes from here.
Oh, nice.
And you can get to like New York within like 2 hours, or DC within 2 hours. So you're kind of like strategically placed well. And I think it's a good state for a takeover. Only got three counties, and it's kind of and it's riding the Mason-Dixon line. So you could probably get like, I don't know, if you really planned it out, you could have like a nice first state project. Hashtag first state project.
Interesting.
But no, right now it's a cesspool. It's awful. It's a corporate haven for, this is where everybody hides their money. And my neighbors are Citibank and Sallie Mae and Bank of America, all that shit. AstraZeneca right down the road. Yeah. And Joe Biden, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Doesn't he have two houses there? Lots of raids going on.
Probably a nice Corvette in the garage. Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah. What's the weather like up there right now? Because down here it's frigid and raining.
Yeah, it's like a mild winter, but we had our first dusting of snow yesterday, and like 30 some degrees today. But it's always like a nice, like hazy gray here. That's our official color.
Perfect. It's like Montana in the summertime with all the fires that happen. Yeah. Yeah. When did you get into podcasting, and how did that happen?
January of 2021, and I started planning it, I don't know, like a couple months after the COVID lockdown, because I got sick of getting like banned off. I was honestly, dude, I wasn't on that much even social media. I was like, Facebook was the only thing that I was really on, maybe a little bit of Instagram or whatever. Even though I remember like some of my friends were like, dude, you should get on Twitter. Twitter's really where it would be at for you. I'm like, nah, I don't need that in my life. But I was having a good time with the caucus, making memes for the caucus, supporting, guys like Dave Smith, Tom Woods, and trying to get more people involved with that. And then, yeah, like after the lockdown started, I was like, that really freaked me out, man. I was like, they were like, you can't go across state lines. Pennsylvania is like 15 minutes away. I got lots of friends in Pennsylvania. They're like, cops are pulling people over for like crossing. It was just like really weird, like a shitty vibe. So I was like, this technology exists. I just felt like, I say this all the time. Just I wanted to keep the lines of communication open with like people that I knew, and like I didn't want to like stay isolated, So that was the catalyst. Kick me off Facebook. I'll start a Twitter. I'll start a Gab account. I'll start whatever. I got a fucking TikTok. I don't give a shit at this point. I'll sign me up.
Yeah, just get you banned wherever you can, right?
Yeah, I'm working on my fourth Twitter account. Like I send them a reinstate me like every like 3 days. I'm like, have you had a change of heart? I feel like it's been a while. Like, don't be that guy. Everybody else is back on. Just let me on.
Yeah. With the takeover, how are you not back on? That's crazy.
I know they brought my buddy Adam Nutter back. They brought Josh back. I'm the only one still banished, I think.
Yeah, Adam Nutter, that dude's hilarious.
He's great. Yeah, he came to our last convention, and nice. He's not far from here, so yeah. PA right over the
how
line.
big is the Mises Caucus in Delaware?
Well, it's a super small state, and we only have I mean, the percentage wise, Mises Caucus is dominating here. This is the vast majority of the state board, and a lot of people that are just sympathetic to it.
Yeah.
But we don't have a big state party. There's probably like a few dozen people that participate. There's more than that registered, but like, it's hard to get people out to those meetings. I'm sure you guys know that, and to stick with it. And
it's hard to get me out to those meetings. What's up, Nick? Are you frozen? I think Nick's frozen.
Nick.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
I
You were
think I'm
just
good now.
really, really still.
What's going on, buddy?
How you doing, Nick?
Yeah.
So
I can't
you two are
complain.
fairly close in miles, I would imagine. Wait, you're in Pittsburgh, not Philadelphia. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both homes of Joe Biden. He feels really comfortable in both places. He's good. But yeah, that's like a 5-hour trek from here.
Yeah, it's quite a ways. Well, first off, today, I think it's we got a few things to show everybody. First off is an event that's happening this month. Nick, you want to describe the event that's happening this month? In DC?
Yes, there is the Rage Against the War Machine going on in DC this month. February 19th, going to go out there and show, the warmongers what for, and, tell them to quit sending stuff to Ukraine and everything else they do that's terrible. And, these are blood-soaked monsters we're talking about. So
heck yeah,
they'll probably keep going on doing whatever they can to, line the pockets of the defense contractors and their own. But, at least some resistance is better than none. There's some great speakers.
Yes, there are.
Ron Paul will be by video message. The man's like almost 90 years old. You can't expect him to come out to DC in the winter. But
yeah,
Jimmy
I like
Dore
that they had to give him a little tag that says video on there.
We're going to make it extremely clear. But yeah, Judge Knapp was added. Dennis Kucinich.
Scott Horton, the man.
Daniel McAdams.
Heck yeah. That lineup's filling out nice.
Oh,
It was much smaller last time we talked about this. There were far fewer people. Nice. Okay. Cool. And someone, I don't know who made this, but we're going to show this little video real quick. I'm sure we won't get copyright infringement since it's a...
What if the American people knew in the depths of their hearts that war is nothing more than racket? If we learned that war has not only killed innocent people overseas, but has eroded our civil liberties and our privacy at home? What if we acknowledge that nation building does not work? And if we want to win hearts and minds, we can achieve this without the use of violence. What if I were to tell you that there's another way, a way of peace, a way of freedom, a way of prosperity and friendship among all peoples through diplomacy and open dialogue? We, the people, have the power to stop this machine. We can demand an end to the wars that dragged on for decades, and an end to the military-industrial complex that profits from death and destruction. We can call for foreign policy based on mutual respect. Join us at the Lincoln Memorial at 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, February 19th, on the anniversary of the Ukraine War and President's Day weekend, to rage against the war machine. After the rally, we'll march to the White House and deliver our demands. What if our voices could make the difference?
What happens if my concerns are completely unfounded? Nothing. What happens if my concerns are justified and ignored? Nothing good.
Dang, that was a good one.
Nailed it.
That's the first time I saw that. Was that Josh Smith narrating?
Oh, that was
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was him. He's got a voice for radio too. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that thing was fantastic. I saw that 2 minutes before it came on. What?
I thought it was Shane for a second, but there wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. So
Shane would have been a good one for sure. Shane would have been a good one for that.
You can't overuse him. I mean, he's got the perfect voice, and you've got to use it in the right spots.
He does. Have they released his book yet? Have they released? I know they released it, the paperback version, Satoshi. But he did the audio book for this.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if they've released the audio version, but
who's that book by?
Satoshi. It's by R.D. Bozkovic. There you go.
Huh. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, he gave me one of the books.
Shane hasn't been in super great contact lately.
No, he's been tweeting up a storm though all the time.
I see that. Yeah. Well, he'll be at LPPA, so I will.
Yeah.
I'll see him there. Are you making a trip up, Jake?
I don't know yet. It's just so much life happens.
But
That
anybody-
convention looks awesome. You're having
Yeah.
Maj is coming out, Shane's coming out, Dave's coming out. That's I don't know. It's pretty much all you need. That's,
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
it's a good one.
but
That'll be great.
I believe there is still a need for the rally for some donations to fill it out.
Well,
If this, I'm gonna throw a link to you, Jake.
cool.
From what I see here, I think it's about 15 grand short right now of the goal. So,
All right, let's get that up there. Share this tab instead. All right, you can go to givebutter.com/rageagainstwar to donate to this rally that's happening in less than 3 weeks. Yeah, looks like they're about 15 grand short right now. We've raised 30,000. It's not bad. You get some good. Let's see. Do you get anything in return for donations? No,
just a really sweet rally.
just a really sweet rally. That's all you need. That's all you should ever want. So yeah, are any of y'all heading up there for that?
I'll be there for that.
I'm debating it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a 4-hour drive.
that's not bad at all. Nick, come on, man.
Yeah,
Delaware,
well,
man, it's 2 hours from everywhere. DC, New York. I'm bringing my microphone. I got my James O'Keefe right here. Boom.
You gonna do some on the street kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I just
Sick.
got it. So I'm going to start to bring that and put that in the repertoire.
Sick. What kind of mic did you get?
It's a Rode.
Nice. Is it the one with the travel kind of one? The one that's like a little video mic that has its own attachment?
It's got no video capability, but it's got it's a wireless transmitter, so you
Okay.
can do it like on the fly with your smartphone and stuff. So that's
Heck
where
yeah.
I'm at. You know,
That's the best. Yes. Yeah, that got me through the whole documentary with Shane. Was
Maybe
those little Rode video mics.
yeah.
maybe you'll run into Eye Patch McCain, or
Oh, that'd be so
you know,
great. Be
He's
so
not going to
great.
be there. He won't be anywhere near that rally.
yeah, but you
Being
can go
DC.
up. Yeah, I mean, you can go up to Capitol Hill the day before, and
Yeah, like where Alex,
Yeah.
I forgot his last name.
Stein.
Alex Stein was standing. Yeah, like all of them have to walk into that little checkpoint.
This
Yeah,
is the
that's
thing
true.
that I mean, I'll tell you what. When people that's what gets you. Look, if you want to get out there like Alex Stein or like Medea Benjamin. Like she'll be there too with Code Pink. Like these lefty ladies, they're always out there putting their bodies on the line. Or Steven Crowder. You know what I mean? He's getting ready to turn down $50 million because he started putting his body on the line, saying, "Change my mind." Or like Luke Radowski back in the day, shoving mics in David Gergen's face or Henry Kissinger's face. You know, get out there, man. That's why this event is so cool. Like libertarians are finally getting out in the streets. Like we haven't,
Alex
we
Jones
haven't.
sneaking into Bohemian Grove.
Well, yeah, we got to get it in the woods too. We got to light some of these effigies on fire too. Absolutely. But you know, one thing at a time.
Yeah, it does take a lot of guts, and it takes a lot of I don't know, a lot of competence as well, and a lot of know-how on the subject matter that you're confronting people about, and that can be really intimidating to most people, including people who are on camera a lot. So I understand why people don't do it, but you're right. I mean, that's the way you get attention. That's the way you get things done, is by actually going out on the streets and doing stuff.
Yeah, and if you're a libertarian, like you have the answers. So, you know, we don't win any elections. We get to win the debates. That's our thing. You know what I mean? So we can go out there and armed with the information, you can meet the left at the left. You can meet the right at the right, and you can, you know, we can win hearts and minds.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nick, you missed out on your rant last week. Do you have any rants you have planned for today?
When we get to that segment, I think I might have something.
I don't know what segments you want. I don't have segments prepared, Nick. I haven't had time to structure the show in segments yet.
Yeah, we'll work on it. I sent you a whole list of segments and potential games we can start playing in the future.
Okay, cool.
I don't have the rules made up for the games yet, but I like the name of it. If you go back through the chat, I came up with a game called Gaslit, where
Okay.
basically we try to gaslight the guest into believing one of our stories. I think is going to be what the rules are, and whoever gaslights the
Okay, so
or
basically,
gaslight them
liar.
into
You mean
basically,
the literal guest, like Steve, that's watching, had to gaslight him.
yeah.
That shouldn't be hard to do.
So we're gonna have games like that, but see now I have
Gotcha.
to find my list because it's in the
Yeah, I found the gaslit one. It's in the. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Wait, no, is that it? No.
So, Dave, you pay attention to the left a little bit. Do you think that this rally is kind of getting through to them to where they, we look more like allies and, they're interested in taking a look? Have you noticed anything like that?
I think it could have that potential.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we should recognize that historically, even though it's being anti-war, I think is the libertarians' number one issue. And if it isn't, then you're wrong. But that doesn't mean that we lead the charge on the anti-war stuff. Like, I think the largest anti-war protest in American history was like 2007, and that was put on by like the communists of you know what I mean, like the hard left. And that doesn't mean that there weren't any libertarians or just regular people out in the streets, but like they organized, they did that shit, and that should be recognized. Obama came and he shut that shit down, right? There's no more anti-war left, or, everything's been obliterated. So like we kind of have to that's our purpose now, I guess, is right coalition with who you have to on issues where you can. So, but I bet you there will be more lefties there than there will be libertarians if I had to guess.
Yeah. I've noticed with, at least like Jimmy Dore and some of the people in his orbit, at least we're being talked about now. Like the word libertarian gets dropped, and Libertarian Party and like names of people we know.
It's beautiful, dude. Yeah. I just saw he had I brought it on my show with Monica the other night, but Jimmy Dore is awesome, man. I've liked him for years, again, because he's good on the most important stuff. But he was quoting Rothbard. Like he was talking about propaganda, and he couldn't get his name right. He's like, "Oh, Rothbard said in Rothbard." So it was hilarious, but it doesn't matter. The fact that he's quoting Rothbard to get his point across on his show to a million, lefties, that's awesome. So, he's doing podcasts with Dave Smith. He's off the Bernie train. This is all good things,
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
I mean, he's if he could get off the Medicare for all thing, he's good. He'd be an unstoppable force.
They won't let him do that. That's one of their sacred cows, right?
Yeah.
And he's allowed to be wrong about a few things. He's still so right on the things that count that it's all right. So,
I mean, he's
and you know what?
right
I would, I'm just saying, like Ron Paul would have said, you get rid of the shittiest shit first. And we won't, in our lifetimes, if we're being real, right? You'll never live in a world where there is no Federal Reserve and no war on drugs and no wars. But if you could just if that could be the North Star for us and Jimmy Dore, you know what I mean? Then for the next generation, or, when you come back in, 1,000 lifetimes or whatever, maybe, just maybe, things might be on the right path by then. But we just got to do our part right now and just kind of just move the needle a little bit. That's our function.
I like how you put that this is what Ron Paul would have said. Like if he wasn't such a good Baptist who wouldn't use those words, he would say that. But
I'm paraphrasing, but he has said, look, when probably somebody would ask something like, "Oh, a libertarian would just take my Social Security," no, because that's not. First of all, that's not right. That's not compassionate, right? But you wouldn't start there. Well, whatever, man. And you were just, I wouldn't start with healthcare even. That's fucking. They're doing demonic shit with that. But if you're just having a conversation with your typical lefty, it's yo, man, I don't agree with you on Medicare for all, but if we could start here, and you weren't if we weren't murdering people abroad, you know, every day, every year, to the tune of trillions of dollars and millions of people dead, like it. Then, like, I guess I would just settle out of court right then. Sure. Do you want like a health plan that you can buy into in America? Sure, man. I don't care. Like, it's like almost pointless at that point. Because again, we'll never even see that. But yeah.
Yeah. I remember one of the gotcha questions back in the day when he was in a debate was like, you want to do away with all these government programs. Would you also do away with the March of Dimes? And he's like, well, that wouldn't be my first target. I mean,
Right.
I would have bigger fish to fry, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
First.
People get too hung up on that stuff, though. Like, you know, it's the where, you know, what about the roads questions? You know, people get hung up on the little things and don't look at the giant things because they seem really unattainable and like you can have no impact on them. Whereas they don't always feel like they impact your life either. And so people don't really care what happens abroad. From what I've encountered most of the time, they pretty much just care about what happens in their local communities and to themselves. And so that's why it's hard to get people on board with these giant things that feel really difficult to accomplish.
I agree with you, man. It is hard. If you don't feel it, then yeah, it's not in my backyard or whatever. But there's always something like this kid that got killed in the hood, Tyree
Nichols.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's awful. Absolutely awful. But I'm seeing like just, you know, like some of my lefty friends, like they're confused. They're like, wait a second, like there was all those cops were black, beating a black kid to death. So wait, like the race narrative like falls apart here. It's like this is a good opportunity to be like, well, yeah, like,
CNN doesn't think it does.
No, sure, right. This is actually. Let me tell you why this is white supremacy at work here. Sure. But no, I mean it is at least.
That wasn't just a nobody either. Like I thought, oh, that's just going to be some intern. It was Van Jones writing that. It was like kind of comes to mind when you think about CNN.
Jeez.
Wow, I didn't.
Well, just like when the Cop City protest kicked off, and they did the meme, like the night that they had their night of rage, that they started destroying stuff. A cop car was on fire, and a local Atlanta reporter on CNN is saying, things are mostly peaceful here. There's a cop car on fire behind you.
Literally behind him. And he kind of tried to edge out so that he was in front of the cop car on fire. It was really pathetic. Like, it was just a sad scene.
That's funny that's like the mostly peaceful thing has like spawned its own meme universe. Like that's because it's so ridiculous. It's great.
You would think they would get away from that, just like, and we're probably going to get a strike from me saying this, how they've had to pivot away from using the phrase died suddenly because it's turned into such a meme.
We can take a strike now. We're clean.
Yeah, we're clean. As of January 31st,
I didn't say that in relation to any sort of medical procedure. I just said the words.
Just said it. You guys are getting strikes. I'm really proud of you. Already, way to go.
Oh, we've gotten multiple strikes. We just let them fade and then we go at it again.
I'm surprised. I've only had one. Well, no, I got a strike for saying something once, but I got one video taken down, and it was the only time I had a medical doctor on, who only said absolute facts.
Oh my
but the World Health Organization standards did not agree.
You've got
non-doctor.
This doctor may not speak.
You can't do that.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I
Some
think
content moderator at YouTube was like, "Nope, that doctor's wrong."
Right.
Yeah,
some like pink-haired mutant, like fucking fuck that doctor.
The intern at YouTube is going to tell the medical doctor that they're wrong. Yeah,
I love that we're insulting the curators and also saying questionable material.
If you're watching right now, you're a piece of shit.
Well, what's extra fun? Well, it's fine because whoever's watching this and judging us probably won't have a job next week. Thanks, big tech layoffs.
Well, that's kind of true.
So please let this slide.
Got another video. Spike Cohen shared it. I think the Mises Caucus shared it. Let's see. Did y'all see this one?
I saw the post. I didn't watch the video.
Yeah, same.
We're here at Gibbon's Farm in southern Ontario. We milk about 260 cows. Right now, during the winter months, you milk quite a bit more milk because the feed is very consistent. And as you do a good job, you will produce quite a bit of milk. So, but right now we're over our quota. It's regulated by the government and by the DFO. But the problem is what they don't understand. There's millions of people look at this milk running away. It's the end of the month. So I have to dump. I dump 30,000 liters of milk. And it breaks my heart. I will show you. By the way, this here Canadian milk, it's $7 a liter. When I go for my haircut, people say, "Wow, $7, Jerry, for a little bit of milk." I say, "Well, you have to go higher up because we have no say anymore as a dairy farmer on our own farm because they make us dump it." And no matter how we stand up, this time I'm going public. I want the people to see the pain that us growers have of 365 days. As a little boy, we grew up on a dairy farm, came from Europe, work, and here we are. This is what happened.
Yeah.
Communism. This is what fucking communists would do.
Okay,
There can only be this much milk. You must dump the rest.
That's exactly.
I got an idea here.
What's your idea?
What we do is we build a model train across the border,
and just have him fill up the little model train.
Yeah, we run it back and forth.
Just 1 liter per car.
This may or may not be a plot point from Trailer Park Boys. Except they were running weed across the border like that.
It just reminds me like something I, kind of was paying attention to, like Fee and Lawrence Reed and things like that in college, and they were talking about in the Depression they slaughtered 6 million hogs. It seems the exact same thing now. It's like culling of the herds during the 1930s Depression. They killed 6 million hogs just because that was over the number that they wanted to have.
God, aren't they doing that right now with chickens? Is that a thing, or am I making that up?
They are with the quote unquote avian flu, and we know how accurate tests are for respiratory viruses, right? Super accurate. So you find one at a facility and you slaughter all the birds that are in the same building or in the same area. So
and there's the issue with chicken feed coming out.
Yes, I did see that. I saw a lot of people started feeding their chickens goat feed instead of chicken feed because their chickens weren't laying eggs for months on end, and then they switched to goat feed, and their chickens started laying eggs immediately.
Yeah, the way I'd heard it is just it was fall becoming winter, and it started production started to dwindle, and people were like, oh, okay, it's winter, and then every now and then somebody would let their chicken free range and see, oh, I'm getting eggs now when I wasn't getting eggs yesterday. So they switched up their chicken feed from this one brand, I think, which is like Purina. So that's how common it is. It's like Purina dog food, just, selling bags and bags of it.
Yeah.
So people all across the country weren't getting eggs for months.
Goodness gracious. Yeah. And I saw a chicken farm get lit on fire the other day, which was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like something like 30,000 chickens died.
Yeah, I saw that one. It's safe to say it burned suddenly due to climate change.
Suddenly, it's just going to be something that pops into everything now.
Oh.
That's so good. Yeah, that video. It's just really sad to see the pain in that guy's heart. He's just so sad to have to dump all the product that he helped create, and he's just flushing it down the drain.
And aren't milk price? Didn't I see along with that story that milk prices are absurd in Canada right now?
Yes, $7 a liter. A liter.
There's what 2-3 of those in a gallon or something. Well, more.
I thought they got milk from a bag.
Well, you can still measure bags in liters, Zach.
I was surprised to see a bottle.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen that fair trade or the fair whatever it is brand in the stores before.
I think that's just what enrages me the most about this. It's it would be one thing if whatever, man, times were tough. Like there was an actual shortage of something, or like, you know, I don't know, this winter we didn't have whatever. Okay, cool. Like that, we can deal with those kinds of things. But like, this is like the deliberate destruction of like, I mean, fuck, I'm not even talking about supply chains. I'm like, man, like they want to see their people are going to go hungry like later. You know what I mean? This stuff takes a while, but like the prices are just starting to get crazy. Man, think about it in 10 years, bro. The UN does not want you eating meat. You know, they don't want, so the price is going to be so astronomical to like get a steak. Like those
Unless
days
you
of
have
going
120 acres in Montana.
yeah, I mean, there's people that will be okay, but like, you know, if you're within that constitution-free zone of like 100 miles on the border, or how they call it, whatever, you know.
Are you within that range, Jake?
I'm not within that range of the border. No.
I'm pretty sure it's just the whole country now, anyway.
Yeah,
It's like 80% of the people who live in the country are within that, you know.
well, like when I lived in Midland, Texas, there was a border patrol like office in town out by the airport, and that's over.
way
That
away.
was over. It's a 5-hour drive to the border, at least from there.
Yeah.
Well, I remember back in the Ron Paul days, all the time seeing these videos of people going through, you know, hundreds of 200 miles north of the border in Texas and being stopped by Border Patrol and just being asked, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" And if they said yes, they got to go on. Like no proof, no checks, just I don't know. That seems to have died down. I haven't seen that lately, but that's nothing really that new for them just to do whatever they want in border states.
Yeah, there have been some good checkpoint refusal videos.
I've not seen any of those.
I haven't seen any good ones lately, but there were some old ones that were good.
Gotcha. Yeah. Speaking of good videos, we have our favorite congresswoman making a fool out of herself.
Also, Veritas released a video a little bit earlier tonight to get to.
Okay, we'll get to that.
So.
But I want to watch her. I want to watch AOC acting like a preacher at a giant church real quick.
Sweet.
Don't tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers and an entire amount of tropes and also elevated her to some of the highest committee assignments in this body. This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
When my life was threatened. Thank you. Don't tell me.
Can I get a hallelujah?
The animation is ridiculous. Somebody has got to make some type of dance video to that.
She doesn't flow well on it though. She's got to get that. She's got to flow when doing it better.
No, you're right. She kind of like stutters and doesn't move correctly.
It ruins the whole aesthetic of what she's doing.
She's trying to keep the beat, but she can't quite get there because she has nothing behind what she's saying. She's completely full of it. And
CNN will fix all of that for her. The video they play will just be, it'll be awesome.
Oh, it'll be great. They'll put some nice theme music behind it. It'll be wonderful. I just thought that was hysterical. And she said her life was threatened on January 6th. That's what she was referring to.
I was wondering, is that the incident she was referring to when she was in a different building?
Yeah.
Nowhere near there?
Yeah, the one when she was
Alex
far away.
Maybe being called the big booty Latina did it.
Maybe that's where she felt threatened. Yeah. I just thought that one was fantastic. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. What was the Veritas one that was released?
It was the same guy as before, but they got a little bit more.
Okay, I skipped over that because I was like, I don't want to watch more of that dude. But it was a brand new video. It was like new
There's
footage.
new parts to it. Yeah, new footage that covers a little bit more. It got interesting there, and so if you want to get a strike tonight, let's. I
mean, I really do. I like getting strikes, so let's find it.
Let's go ahead and.
I don't think I have it on me.
Let me pull it up. It's all over their Twitter. I don't think there's one on YouTube, but I know that there's.
I thought their Twitter was down.
It's also trending. No.
Do they have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, they got brought back. Yeah.
Oh,
Or also the hashtag fertility PFERTILLITY.
oh, there we go. Got it. All right.
I got it.
Look,
If you
I already got it. Let's go ahead and watch this so we can get a copyright claim and a strike all in one.
will Veritas hit us on that?
You will have
No.
to investigate that down the line. Yeah. Because that is a little concerning. It actually should be
Jeez.
interfering with that, so we don't really.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. No.
But is it?
Are you showing the video?
We don't know. It's figure out.
Share the screen.
My bad. I thought I did. That's on me. Still learning StreamYard. Learning new features all the time. All right.
Irregular about their menstrual cycle, so you will have to investigate that down the line.
Yeah.
Because that is a little concerning. It actually shouldn't be interfering with that, so we don't really.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. No.
But is it?
There's something happening, but we don't know. It's figure out.
Well, I mean, you're a urologist, so you must understand like what's going on with it, right? Like,
So that's why I understand that it's weird. I hope we don't find out that like somehow this mRNA like lingers in your body and then like has because it has to be impacting something hormonal to impact menstrual cycles. Yeah, or like the entire next generation is like super fucked up. Could you imagine the scandal? Oh my god! I mean, I take Pfizer off my resume.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
There's 5 minutes more of that. Wow.
Can I go backwards real quick? Because
Yeah.
I had a question with the AOC thing that I just forgot.
Okay, go backwards.
So Monica says that AOC is a created person, I believe. That,
Okay.
you know, in her past, she was a Rhodes Scholar, went to some institute that a bunch of, you know, CIA type, or no, her college degree was one that's, you know, CIA typically gets. Like if that's your goal to get in the CIA, that degree is what you get. She has that.
I think she has an economics degree.
Yeah, from like
AOC.
Georgetown though, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. CIA.
I don't know. I'm probably repeating this really badly
Wait,
too.
she
so-
went to school in Boston, I thought.
Well, never mind then. Take, you know, okay. Take this very generally.
She
But-
is a created person. She did
Yeah.
go by Sandy Ocasio, and she did, you know, grow up in an affluent area of New York, and you know,
Mhm.
bartended
You're doing
in
it
like a
much better
super
than I
trendy
can.
town. And no, she absolutely is. And she was, in fact, I think that her friends, maybe her brother, I could be wrong, who did it, but they like sent her basically like her portfolio to a company, like an like an agency that would work for like actors, but does the same thing for like politicians. That like, we're looking for somebody to run for this position in New York, and they were like, oh, we'll send her Sandy. They were like, this girl's perfect. You've got that look. You've got
Well,
that
and
it factor.
Her brother auditioned too, I think.
Okay, there you go. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, look at her husband.
Although-
Total cuck.
So- Yeah. So really,
he's
my
probably
question-
runs her YouTube. You know.
Anyway, I was throwing that question out to like Jake and Nick because we know where Dave lands on that. Like you explained it way better than I did. So
You were
I'm
on
curious
it,
what you guys
though.
think.
Limit. Yep.
I mean, it's not inconceivable. I mean, and it kind of actually makes sense, especially like because she is charismatic. She is somewhat likable. I mean, I know a lot of lefties who love AOC. I don't know, and she's way more intelligent than she puts on at times, for sure. I don't know. That's an interesting theory. I literally never thought about it. I don't spend much time thinking about AOC. So
My theory is that all of these guys, from AOC to Elton John to Donald Trump, they are all influencers. They all reach a certain demographic, and they all beep, 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 beep. And that's why now, like, I used to, that term influencer, like, I just would think of, like, social media influencer. But no, man, it goes way back. This is how the propaganda gets funneled through to all the little independent groups out there. And now you just have to have a million more because there's a million more places to get your information. So, but she hits that, like, she's a good investment, right? If you were the system, because boom, you pluck her when she's like 25. She looks great. She knows how to use Snapchat, Instagram, and gets on there and it's like, guys, you know what it is? It's Black History Month. Oh my God, you guys. Like, it's just like she knows what to do to get the audience, to get the propaganda out to those people who wouldn't normally take it. You know what I'm saying? So, just like Bernie Sanders, dude, I think that he was there that whole time to deliver a message and ultimately funnel in the hard left. And then when it ultimately fails, he hands over the email list to the corporatists. That's it. You know what I mean? He's there to get them in the door and then go, oh, it didn't work out, but Joe's over there. He's my friend. You know what I mean? It's like, it's this thing where they just play this game. I don't know. That's my story.
What do you think the mechanism is there? Just like identifying bright kids in college and being like, hey, do you want the world? Do you want to make a ton of money and be powerful? And
I think I think a lot of the time, especially like people who want to be in entertainment or like half-baked intellectuals that don't feel like they're getting their just due. Right? So like Robert Reich, we were talking about him the other night. Like he's an idiot, but he probably thinks he's a genius.
Oh my
So
gosh,
you'll do whatever has to be done to keep your status. Or like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like haven't you noticed that there's these guys who play smart guys on TV who are idiots, or they're either idiots or right. And why are they elevating like fucking kid show guys that aren't real scientists, right? You know what I'm saying? It's weird. But they are influencers. Like Bill Nye is out there going, you know what's real? Climate change, the vax. Like they do all the lines of the thing, and they're just influencers.
So who's the organization behind recruiting these folks?
I wouldn't even say that there's like a top-down organization, but I mean the CIA is huge. They use front organizations all over the place. A guy like we were talking about, like James Comey. Like how do they find these people, or what are they looking for? They might look for like sociopaths, like James Comey. I think that they saw him. He was involved in some kind of, I can't remember what the trial was, but like he lied on behalf of like the state to get somebody like thrown in jail. And I think that they probably found him. They knew that, wow, this guy was really good at it. He just did it with a stone cold face and lied. Like, you know how useful that is if you got to go out there and just say the worst things on the planet, and like, you know, people might die over what you say, but like you don't care because you're empty and you don't have empathy. So they look for that too. But yeah, dude, AOC, Lady Gaga, these people were like plucked early, like really, really intelligent people. They get intelligent people, promise them the world, you know, might put them in like some special school and like curate their intelligence and watch them over time and place them in, you know, different areas where they can be useful.
Man.
Oh,
that's
seems
interesting.
to be exactly what the World Economic Forum says they're doing. It's like we want to recruit powerful people to do our plan.
Yep.
So it's not inconceivable that somebody's done that before.
Yeah, not at all. I think that makes total sense. That's very interesting. I like thinking about it, but I also don't like thinking about it at all.
It's kind of a little bit of a black pill, I guess, but you know, it's whatever.
Well, I mean, it's nice to be able to it's nice to have that theory presented so that you can be keeping that in mind when you see a bunch of things that seem to correlate from different people. Like, I don't know. Yeah, everybody having the same kind of speak all of a sudden out of nowhere, having the same words they're saying over and over and over again.
Right.
We saw that a lot during the past 2 years. Is all of a sudden the same phrase would get repeated by every single person in power all over the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't get to, if you sing well, like you might get to be an influencer, or if you are a good actor, you might get to be an influencer. Robert Downey Jr. is a fucking influencer for eating the bugs now. You know what I mean? He's just talking about vegan diets, electric cars.
Is he really?
Yeah, it's awful.
Damn it.
But I'm saying, like, that's at the highest level there. Like, yeah, if
picture
you
of
don't
him
do
looked
it,
awful,
somebody
too.
else will. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's bad news bears. But
Wait, he's
yeah, if you
really
don't sell
shilling
it,
for
somebody else will.
bugs?
Yeah, he went on Colbert and he was like, dude, check this out. Just got approved by the EU. It's made of mealworms and it's great for you and you should check it out. And it's like, yeah. You eat the bugs, bro.
I tried to feed the wild birds outside mealworms, and they didn't like it. So
Just approved for human consumption. Isn't that great?
Goodness gracious.
I don't know. A lot of this makes sense, even if you think about it just from like what would naturally arise, because people like to go the path of least resistance. So if you're, a bright person and you see a future ahead of you, and one path is like a lot of work, and another path is just say what these people want you to say, and they'll take care of it for you.
Mhm.
Like that seems like a good path to, getting talented people to start saying whatever you want if you have enough money.
Yep.
That's it, man. And they do. They have all the money and they can make all the promises. And if you're already geared towards why do you think that like all kids want to be an influencer, or I want to play video games for a living, or I want to be a dancer, I want to be a singer, I want to do all these things. They curated that over a couple generations, right? Like so that like kids don't want to like work with their hands anymore or go get like a job. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's insane.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, we need artists. That's awesome. But like kids don't even, it's not like they want to be an artist. They want to perform in some way, or like, just get money, or, that's spiritually and emotionally bankrupt. You won't get anywhere that way.
Correct.
It seems like,
is this true? The Brad Pitt thing? Brad Pitt just happened to be in Ukraine when everything kicked off.
Was he hanging out with Sean Penn? I'm telling you, they use these guys as assets. So
Sean Penn is definitely an asset.
Yeah,
that dude's a psycho.
Yep. And
he one who got El Chapo busted.
Oh yeah, I bet. And he's boys with Oliver Stone. But wouldn't that make sense if you're in an intelligence agency? You use these guys. This is like Argo is like about this kind of shit. Like you use these guys as mules.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that? Julia
But Oliver
Child.
Stone actually put out that good documentary about
absolutely.
2014 coup.
He did. Julia Child ran like chemical weapons for the Allied powers in World War II. For the
what?
The baker?
The fucking lady on TV who makes these things. Yeah, you could look that up. That's a fact.
Holy cow! So they'll just use anybody who's like popular and famous. Yeah.
I think it might be shark repellent. Like they were using sharks to like repel like submarines and shit, dude. I don't know. It's like some wild shit, but she was on the dole for the intelligence agencies during World War II. Give that a Google later.
I could see that. It's like I'm really good at like baking and chemical warfare.
Right. I could get this shit where you need it, dog. Just let me know.
Hey, this is Liberty Libations. What are y'all drinking tonight?
High quality H2O.
Hey, that's the best kind. I thought I saw a White Claw for you, Zach. Is that the case?
Yep. White Claw.
Nice.
And Max says, oh no, I thought he said PBR. He said the PBS chief. So never mind. Nothing to do with drinks. I just thought he said he was drinking a PBR.
The PBS chef. No, the comments don't come in that quick. Pitt Pens.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Different store, same groceries. You're right.
Nick, are you drinking anything tonight?
Currently not right now. We'll see what happens though.
Okay. How's that dog treating you?
Pretty good. You can see her chilling there.
I know.
Yeah, bit.
She's like the calmest dog ever. She'll just stay there for an entire podcast every time.
Yeah.
Adorable. Come on.
Yeah. She just hangs out. So
nice.
Grumpy Gnome says Jameson. And then I think there's
all right, Grumpy Gnome. Let's see. Libertarians are most likely marijuana criminals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think I'm a marijuana criminal.
Reverse legalization now.
All right, let's this has to be a troll, right? I mean, that's a pretty funny one.
What were you about to say, Nick?
Legalization now.
Nick, were you about to say something?
What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were about to say something. You sent me this link. What is this for, Nick? This city of Gainesville.
Oh yeah, this week in your World Economic Forum dystopia.
Okay, so this is a
The city
segment
of
that I think we're
Gainesville.
going to start. Here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna have a title card and get a picture of Klaus Schwab on there. But yeah, the
Okay.
city of Gainesville selects a community's first chief climate officer. What's
I'm
a chief
surprised they
climate
didn't say
officer?
czar.
Why is Gainesville doing this?
Well, it's
I
Gainesville,
don't know.
Florida, but it's still weird.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing though. Like the UN 2030 agenda, when it was Agenda 21 years ago, like they have made the investments at the local level to install the people who are going to do this shit. Like at the city council level and like local government, they're all on board, dudes. I'm not surprised. You'll start to see more shit like that. We're hiring people. We're hiring like equity officers and stuff over here in Delaware. Oh man!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
It's a nightmare.
Like
So
within
the
years,
city,
this is going to be one of the highest paid jobs, probably.
dude, I am gonna grift so hard for one of these jobs. And just breaking money.
I don't even hate you, bro. Go get that thing.
Thank you, Mary.
But yeah, prior to joining the city, Zoo did supervisory and research work as a planner in Marion County, where she pushed for policies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. She also has traveled the world preparing the first LEED certified campus in Shenyang, China, and developing a plan to fight sea level rise in Indonesia.
What?
Earned a PhD in urban and regional planning from the University of Florida. Her research focused on environmental science and sustainability. She has a LEED Green Associate credential, an achievement that signals a high level of knowledge about how to use urban efficiency and sustainability to mitigate climate change.
Yeah, the city of Gainesville has a huge impact on climate change, y'all. They just putting out.
Well, it's good. This one lady got a went to some courses and now she knows how to not let the sea level rise.
I wish I could say I need to travel the world for my job. It's like Zach had to travel the world in preparation to do the thing he was given to do. But
hey, just grift your way into a job like that, man. You could make it happen these days.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to grift your way into a job like that. I mean, you just have to know the buzzwords.
Let's see. Is a lady named Dan? Because of course.
Don't you go assuming gender.
Yeah, I can't believe you made that assumption.
How do you say the name of that? Alachua Chronicle. I thought it was the Ayahuasca Chronicle at first.
That would not have an article like this on there.
No.
They would not be promoting this nonsense. Speaking of people grifting their way into a job, did y'all see this one? This is from your state.
Oh yeah,
I
didn't see it.
We won't watch the whole thing because it gets a little long at the end. But here we go.
Hold on. Stop walking. Let me talk to you a second, man. Okay. Hey, what's going on tonight?
I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all stuff.
Hang on.
Hey, work fine. Put your hands behind your back. Calm down. At this point, you are not in any trouble. You understand? But we're being told by multiple people that you were involved in all this. That these dudes were shooting at you. All right. Is that true? I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say to me. Okay. I'm a little bit. I'm a homeowner. That's my home right there. That's my rental property right on the corner.
Okay. Well, all you had to do was talk to us a little bit.
I have to talk to y'all.
So you say you don't know nothing about nothing. You ain't got nothing.
No questions, bro. I'm not answering any questions.
Hey, if you keep yelling like that, you're going to try to find a way to take you to jail. We're not wanting that.
You're going to take me to jail then. Hey, relax. Thank you. Let me go.
He just said he was part of it. That's what he was saying.
I don't want to be bothered. I don't with y'all.
Thank you.
Joy Central. First 209 Central. I'm in around the jail too. Also show me not having a camera.
Go ahead.
209 1930.
It's open. Has he identified himself yet?
No, he allowed me to get Billfo out.
Okay. Well, as of right now, he's under arrest for obstruction.
Despite the fact that the officers wanted to talk to Mr. James as a potential witness and victim, they placed him in handcuffs, took his wallet and searched through it, and placed him under arrest for obstruction when he refused to answer any questions. And although the officers were authorized to ask questions and request his cooperation, the court would likely conclude that he could not be arrested for refusing to assist the officers in their investigation.
Hey, Randy, I'll do this.
Yeah. And they're trying to detain him for questioning, and they immediately put the handcuffs on the kid. And they go on to say in this video that he was being shot at by other people, and he was trying to run away. This witness said so, at least.
I like the fact that they said, "Oh, you're not in any trouble right now, but we're going to detain you anyway."
Yeah,
right.
You know,
you have to be so confident in yourself and what you could get away with to do that.
Yeah, or completely naive of like what it actually is that you're doing.
Well, I mean, we just had the whole thing where in the whole Tyree Nickel video there, right? I mean, 5 cops wearing body cameras beat the hell out of a dude.
It's crazy to me how they always act like this is the most normal thing in the world. Like if I was just talking to Dave, I'd just be like, Dave, I want to talk to you. I'm just going to put these irons on your hand because I just want to talk to you for a minute. I'm just going to force you to stay right here.
Why are you surrounding me with all your friends, man? It's no big deal. We just want to talk to you, man.
Get on in trouble. I mean,
get in this police car.
Speaking of that beatdown, have you guys seen some of these theories that have been floating around in some of these rumors?
No.
I heard that the cops might be gang members, like Retribution.
I heard
we
that
know they're
one.
gang members.
Well, they're gang members, yeah. But apparently, but theoretically, they might have been a part of a different gang also.
Pulling doubles.
Interesting.
And then
let's keep saying theoretically in this conversation.
And then there was a theory floated around that he had slept with one of the cops' ex-wives or something, or ex-girlfriends, and
I'd heard that too. That's a thought.
I don't know what's true or what's not on this, but I mean that sure doesn't look like let's just beat a guy for.
So I didn't watch this video because I don't like first of all, I don't want to see shit like that. Like I don't like to put it into my consciousness. Like I know that it happens, and sometimes you just skim by Twitter or whatever, and you see some shit. But like I don't want to go out of my way to like take that in.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a real story. Like the corporate press will love to like spin a narrative, or like you can make something up in your head. But what you just described of just some young dude who slept with some chick, like unfortunately was married to some pig who would 40% of the time beat his wife when they get home, will of course call upon the thin blue line, his brotherhood, to come stomp him out. And this is Memphis police, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Memphis police is the police department that conspired with the fucking mafia and who else? Fucking Jesse Jackson to take out Martin Luther King. This is like right after we just got done doing Martin Luther King. Nobody's putting that together. When
there
do
was
you
a
think
CIA asset standing on the the balcony with him? That they had people allegedly move out of the way so they could get a better shot.
Oh yeah, bro. They had the guys who the friendlies not wear ties that day, and anybody who was in ties was fair game. Go back. There's a Jess right next to Martin Luther King with no tie on that day. Yeah. Oh, that story is awful. I'm not sure. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but like, yo, he was alive when they took him to the hospital, and they snuffed his ass out, dude. In the Memphis police and these bastards, because they are some like racist sons of bitches, dude. That they got away with a lot of shit in the 60s. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Now there are cameras everywhere. Lots of public cameras.
Get away with a lot of shit.
Well,
and they still get away with a lot. Yeah.
People are always going to get away with a lot of stuff, but the key is to catch as many as possible.
It does seem odd they're not circling the wagons this time. Like they got immediately fired and charged.
Yeah.
Like, is that a legitimate, they're better now, they're changing, or just this is going to come out, it's so bad we can't even pretend?
Yeah. I don't know, because 4 of them made bail immediately, and one of them I think the main one didn't. So I don't really know how it's gonna. I don't really know what the tactics were there, if there were tactics, but it was a weird situation. And I thought the protesting was strange because all the protests happened way after the cops had already been fired and arrested. Just none of it made any sense to me. And like it was, the protests were super well organized. Like the same signs that they were using in Memphis, they were using here in Atlanta, which was strange, in my opinion.
I'm telling you, they're organized, bro.
They're very organized. Like they had those things printed and ready to go. And yeah, I mean, the whole thing took place. Like if you're protesting a cop, killing a guy and the cop hasn't been fired or arrested, I understand that. But if the cops have already been fired, already been arrested, what are you protesting? Like, what is the point of this? I didn't really understand why that happened that way.
Well, you listen, to the propaganda report or whatever, and I mean they've gone into it. Binkley's gone on to it there, but he's talked about how he's subscribes to these Indivisible and these other progressive organizations, and they send out these call to actions and these scripts and just kind of put it out there and tell people what to be saying word for word on Twitter, and that's why you get a whole bunch of people looking like bots on there. Because they're literally just parroting words told to them.
I think some of it's just human psychology too, because this seems to happen a lot this time of year. I mean, I'm not saying like they planned, to kill this guy right now, but just whatever happens to pop off tends to escalate when, the days are getting longer and it's getting a little warmer outside. I don't know if that's coincidence or what.
Is it getting warmer outside? Have you noticed that?
It's been fine here.
Okay. The days are getting a little longer. It's nice to see a little sunlight a little further into the evening. I do like that.
Yeah.
That's the one bad thing about Montana is man, we were up there for New Year's and it got dark at like 4:30 because our place is in a little valley. So the sun just disappears and man, that can take it just takes a mental toll even after like 1 week. It's like I'm just living in darkness.
Yeah, I went to Iceland in November once, and it was like sunrise at like 10:30 in the morning, sunset at like 3:30.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. Iceland's nuts. Yeah, we were there in August, and it never got dark. That was crazy. Place is cool though. We're going there again this fall.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't think I have any other videos lined up. I have a short one, but it really has nothing to do with anything.
I just threw one in the chat.
Okay, there we go. Let's go to that one then. Hang on 1 second.
Seems good.
I haven't watched this yet, but
right.
We'll see how it is. I know Sarwark makes an appearance, so.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Then it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Okay. Austin 10. We're definitely going to get copyright problems with this one.
There's masks on it. Yes. Don't tread on me.
If we comment over it, it alters it enough to where they won't give us copyright issues.
Okay, so we'll have to just pop in every couple seconds and say
This
something.
should be fair use, right?
No, I didn't even know you guys existed.
Is it?
Where have you been all my life?
Yeah, it's news.
That's a good point.
The Free State Project is simply about getting people who believe in freedom and limited government to move to New Hampshire.
We are the live free or die state.
We all agree on the one important thing, which is non-aggression principle. Don't hurt people, don't take their stuff.
Don't hurt people, don't take their stuff.
We believe in economic freedom, personal freedom.
Bitcoin
We want
Lounge.
government to be as local as possible.
I just want lower taxes, smaller government, more individual freedom.
If you're a libertarian and you're the live and let live crowd, just come to New Hampshire.
It's really tough to hate us once you meet us.
Looking for libertarian political migration to join like a little crazy freedom utopia.
I spent 40 years feeling very isolated. And now I have thousands and thousands of people.
This is real.
a real community. This is a real project. This is really happening.
We want to be here to live our best life. Who can argue with that?
There's a growing sense of urgency to address what's happening.
My heart was racing and I felt sick to my stomach.
People are just waking up to it.
They have been very serious about having people move into our state to change the way of life in New Hampshire. They want to create this libertarian utopia.
I'm to agree with them.
Void of public infrastructure and common laws.
I think it's really
just some open borders
to recognize that the Free State Project exists because theirs is a minority view.
Some of the measures that they advance could really hurt people. I think it's frightening.
Oh,
We've
scared.
read our history, we know our history, and we see where things are heading.
Yeah, why shouldn't we be concentrating our like-minded souls in one geographic area so then we actually might have a chance of moving these ideas forward?
We don't want to wait for a collapse. We want to build an alternative, show people it can be successful.
We like New Hampshire the way it is. They clearly have a different vision. They've gone down a path that's too dark, and there's no coming back from it.
Their end goal is really dangerous.
I just want to be with other people who want freedom.
We just want you to move to New Hampshire and help us make New Hampshire smaller government. That's all we want.
There are a boatload of us here, and there are more and more coming. And in a way, we're taking over.
There's no place like New Hampshire to raise a family and to plan ahead for the next 100 years.
Not taking over to rule you, taking over to liberate you.
If you believe in America, you've got to take action when these groups come to town.
Trump didn't save us. Biden didn't save us. They're making it worse.
We have this legislation in front of us. It is a bill to destroy the United States.
We have the right to
Based.
ask for a divorce.
We can't be supporting things like secession. This is insane.
It's really scary and it's
Insane.
really real. These people are crazy.
I don't know, maybe we're the sane ones and everyone else is crazy.
Interesting. It's a full series? Huh.
So Sarwark, who moved from Arizona to New Hampshire, is speaking out against what the Free State Project is doing.
It's kind of what it sounded like, but I don't know.
Did I hear
awfully fishy? That guy moves an awful lot too. Right before Arizona, he's been in Colorado.
He was in Maryland, I believe.
Yep. Bounces around.
It's always been there's been a divide over the more political free staters and like the keen free staters that are more about activism and disobedience and things like that. So maybe it's just like playing into that divide and not the whole FSP. But who knows? It's Nick.
Yeah, I mean,
seems like an interesting series, and it kind of seems like they're actually presenting both sides pretty well. Like it didn't seem like they took a side with how they filmed it and how they edited it together.
I mean, you'll have to see how the series actually turns out, but the trailer looks decently well cut together.
Yeah, for sure. Like normally you'd on that turn where they started going to the, New Hampshire residents who'd been there, before the Free State Project. Normally at that turn, they would have rebutted everything that had happened previously in the video and then really demonized the Free Staters, but they didn't do that.
They got good spokesmen too, like Ian Freeman, Carly Grecki, and then like Rich Paul was in there. Just like people that I would trust to say good things and not look like, idiots on camera. So
yeah.
What about Kaufman? How's he portrayed in it?
Awesome. Can't go wrong with more Kaufman. Come on.
That's true, but his commercials can get twisted by the corporate press pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean that's not hard.
Fall for that. It's your own problem.
Nice. Well, yeah, that's all I've got for tonight, y'all. I don't, unless anybody else has topics they want to talk about or just want to chat about random stuff, I'm good.
Jeez,
Not
you're
really.
trying to cut these shorter and shorter, aren't you?
Look, man.
Oh, that's an interesting topic there, Mr. Grumpy Gnome.
What?
Michigan and Sarwark and the rat fuckery going on there.
What did he do now?
moving to Michigan? I know there's rat fuckery, but that would be funny if he moved there. That'd be like the sixth
Not from
time.
what I know, but I know he has stood up a fake board, fake LP Michigan board, and has them having meetings, acting like they're running the party. And he was the one who organized it and hosted their first meeting.
Yo, talk about grifting, dude. He's a money laundering grifter.
You saw that he sent out mailers to all the party members in Mississippi, trying to get them to run under I guess with the support of his LPI.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
He's trying
Send
to run
money to Wedge Squared so I can, you can employ me for my strategies, my libertarian strategies. This guy's an absolute fraud.
And then I'm gonna get my friends to donate to your campaign, but I'm gonna take a 40-50% cut of that.
Right. And I think people still are like, well, it's Nick or like the Mises Caucus, so I guess I'll send Nick some money. I don't know. It's so sad, dude.
Let's say allegedly, because I have no.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. This is.
I'm not sure the YouTubers care that much about Nick Sarwark.
Well, it's in the
I think we're going to
comments.
get dinged for it. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that dude, what a troll! Like, and I don't mean the fun troll, like an online troll. Just what a little troll. Like,
Well, it's funny because all the state party drama started in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That coup happened in New Hampshire, and the coup master there kind of stayed silent. And we know JBH was behind it and deleted his emails and ran away to hide what he whatever he got involved in. But it all kicked off there, and then Delaware happened, and I don't think there was anything to ever tie Sarwark to you guys.
No, he was really chummy with Will, and I think that they were like, oh yeah, I mean they're pals, but I think he probably went to him for advice, like what should we do? But no, he was like never here. Like,
yeah, it doesn't seem like he was behind that one, but
no, he wasn't. Will was pretty good, man. He had his own coup that he ran by himself, and he did pretty well for one of those guys.
Besides the fact he ended up giving himself a heart attack over it and looked like an insane man at that election board hearing.
He he was feeling really good about his double jab until a couple weeks later. Poor guy.
Jeez.
Is that not compassionate? Do I lack empathy? Should I run for office?
It kind of sounds like it. Oh my gosh.
Sorry about that.
No, we're all good. I just called a guy a troll. It's all good. Well, y'all, I've got nothing else to talk about. And Nick was supposed to bring a rant, but he didn't because he failed to prepare. So he's the loser of the week. Jared is no longer the loser of the week. It's Nick.
Whoa. Hang on. The rant was supposed to be timely for last week. And because I missed last week being busy and doing nerd stuff, national bylaws are important.
Are they?
I guess. But yeah, so I did that, and
fair enough. Fair enough.
It just doesn't make sense for me to go really on a Republicans or losers rant right now.
It feels appropriate all the time for Republicans or losers rant.
Right. And I was gonna maybe prepare something along there, but we kind of missed the window of all the right wing, the NRX guys and the Republicans who are the Matt Walshes and those guys out there, basically pushing their own level of tyranny. The same people who 2 years ago were screaming to you about how the left's going to line you up against the wall and throw you on the boxcar are the ones now saying, well, if I prefer it this way. And if you don't like the way I want it, then, I'm going to throw you in a boxcar and line you up against the wall myself. So, there's no good way forward. I mean, they were blatantly saying this, Matt Walsh was on. See, you got me ranting now.
Yes.
Matt Walsh is on there, on Twitter, it was like a post of Singapore. And he's like, yep, look at Singapore, dictatorship or whatever. But, their citizens get in line. If you don't, you break minor laws, you get beat. Drug dealers get hanged. And he's like, I don't know, seems like a pretty good place. And it's like, that's just an incredible level of insanity to try to say, yeah, that seems like a good idea for a country like the U.S. to have. I mean, where's the principles? Where's anything that you've claimed before? It's kind of out the window with, I'm going to push anything I feel like I like. And if you don't like what I like, I'll kill you. Which is what they're, the lefties say that. And now, it seems the right wingers have gone that way as well.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back and forth. I mean, that's exactly what happens. It just ping pongs back and forth every single time.
Right. But,
everybody just wants their own version of power and tyranny.
Right. But it's especially bad when it comes from the right, the Republicans, whoever there, because they exist to lose. Like that is their purpose, is to lose. Right. I mean, we all know, conservatism is progressivism driving the speed limit. That's well established. And, just no matter what. I mean, even when they win, they lose, right? They stand for nothing. They constant, they seize the power, and they can't do a basic thing, under, when they didn't have control, they vote 100 times to repeal Obamacare. The second they actually have the ability to do so, they bitch out and they don't.
Yeah,
it's absolutely absurd.
They are there to lose, man. I like to call them shill bidders. Like there's a lot. If you're Mitt Romney in 2012, there's a lot of money in losing. Like if you know that you're there to just take the fall, you know what I mean? You can plan your investments that way, or maybe they can promise that you'll be senator within 10 years or something like that. Or, whatever it is, there's a lot of power that can come from being the loser. And look what they put up. You get Mitt Romney. Who'd you get? John McCain. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they offer you up as, like, ooh, the liberty, the freedom, the independent answer. Like, that's just, wow. These motherfuckers have had us snowed for so long. We're like, we got a ways to go, boys.
Yeah. I mean, we see it constantly there, I mean, the whole war apparatus, the war on terror, that all came home, and who's it being used against, right? Who's the domestic terrorists? Yep. And yet they still want to continue trying to push this. Like, for some reason, they figured out how to wield power, or that they have they haven't. And they,
Now you got half of the country that's happy to call the other one terrorist, and that half is happy to call them treasonous. And so if the state wants to lock anybody up, like, it's cool, because the other side will be like, yep, obviously, like, that's justified, Yep, we're there.
Yeah, no, there's a whole. Any of y'all watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? You remember that?
While, but yeah.
Remember that episode where they do a whole thing where their gang is running for office, and they're only doing it to get the bribe to get out of office, to like throw the election.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking great. It's such a good episode. Yeah. All right. Well, that was Nick's rant, y'all. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks.
Hey, I have one thing.
What's that, Zach?
You pulled it out of me.
I have one thing I can show you guys real quick.
Do it. Yeah.
So it's going to be video. So sorry to any audio listeners, but there's this video going around of this new, I guess, video filter. They were calling it AI. And we've been talking about a lot of that with, smart cities and stuff like that, where this will cause you to have eye contact with the camera. So I'm going to turn it on. Yeah, I'm going to turn it on. I'll probably freeze for a little bit, but then after that, I'll be able to show you guys what this looks like.
This stuff is the creepiest thing I've seen. Yeah. Oh,
all right.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So let me see. I have squinty eyes, so this doesn't work great for me. Like if my eyes are open enough, it doesn't matter if I'm looking at the camera. Like I'm actually looking at my phone right now.
God.
And it'll look like I'm looking directly into the camera though. So like I'm not looking into the camera right now. I'm looking at my own picture, but it looks like I'm looking directly at it.
That's wild. A little bit of uncanny valley there.
So I'll
it's just
undo
off
it now.
just enough. It's off just enough to be.
Yeah. And then there's normal. You can see my regular eyes now.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. I saw some guy demonstrating that the other day. And it was terrifying. Was it at the World Economic Forum that they were showing that?
There was just some random video. I don't even think they were. I mean, they were talking about this general subject, like 15-minute cities, stuff like that. But
how are you running that?
What's that?
How are you running that?
Yeah.
NVIDIA broadcast. So that's really all it does right now is it frames my picture a little bit. So if I like go down or up, it'll follow me. And then it does this eye contact thing, which is just weird. So
it's awful. It's awful. Yeah. I mean, somebody said, well, now I can finally never pay attention at work or during a meeting.
Yeah. But you have to like physically be raising your eyes right now. At least I do. So
yeah, if you have big, like bold eyes, you don't have to be doing that most likely. Yeah. But if you're at all high, you probably have to. Well, Dave, thanks so much for joining us tonight, man. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Pleasure. Thanks for the invite, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Shout out your show real quick so people can go check that out.
Yeah, that'd be great. I got to get the rookie numbers up on YouTube so I can start super chatting like the big boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Dave versus Goliath on YouTube, and I'm on Odyssey too, just in case they take any of my episodes down. But other than that, yeah, I'm on iTunes, Spotify, Facebook, on Twitter. Goliath will fall. This is my 4th account. I hope they let me keep this one at least.
You didn't get any back in the Elon amnesty?
No, dude, I send him a message every couple days and just, blow him a little kiss. Give me my fucking account back, dickhead. Come on. But, I'll try and maybe use a little bit more finesse. But no, they're not giving me back. They told me that I'm impersonating people, or no, wait, setting up multiple accounts for abusive purposes, I think they said.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No, I don't abuse anybody.
How
enemies.
How often do you release episodes of your show?
I try to do it once a week. Sometimes I slack and I'll skip a week.
Okay.
But it's cool. Like no one's banging the door down. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of good shows out there. So it's like,
Yeah.
You're on with Dan Smots now too, aren't you?
And I started picking up like regular co-hosting duties with Dan. So yeah, twice a week I'm podcasting and yeah, still doing the party thing and trying to do that too.
Yeah, Dan rode back in our Uber after the Dave Smith comedy show in Reno.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah, he was like blackout drunk, but hopped in our. Yeah, Zach's like, who wants in the Uber? And he hopped in. So
I'll take it. That's awesome.
Well, Dave, thanks so much. Keep doing the good work up there. That's awesome.
Do we want to pitch the convention while we're here?
I want. Dave
I don't know what
Steelers
convention
too.
you're talking about. I seem to remember a festival.
A festival that includes a little bit of business.
I don't remember any business happening, but I do remember that there is the Great Create. 98 more days, y'all. Get your tickets now. It's happening in Perry.
Tickets aren't
Georgia.
available yet, but they will be probably Monday.
Okay. Well, don't get your tickets now. Wait till Monday.
This is a sneak peek for everybody.
Since we're here, we might as well pitch it because this is going to be awesome. We're putting together a really sweet little freedom festival in the South, which the South seems to be lacking a solid one. So
yes, we do.
Here's what we're going with.
Yeah, it's a DIY Freedom Festival. It's all about being self-sustainable, being able to, or self-sufficient, not self-sustainable. That word is, yeah. Got some great speakers coming. We got Mr. Shane Hazel, John Vaughn, Edgar Mills, John Mons. We're going to do some live podcasting while we're there. We're going to have a little film festival as well. I think we got, how many films we got right now? 3 or 4? 3?
Yeah, same ones.
Dadgummit, Steve, you're hopping in right at the end, man.
Sorry I'm late.
That's fine. We'll go for another hour.
No, we
What's up,
won't.
Steve?
If you want to go for another hour, you're going to do it without me.
That's cool. You guys are putting this on this event.
Yep.
This
This
is
is
very cool.
This is launching soon. And sorry, I think you're echoing, Steve.
Uh-oh. Put headphones in, Steve.
Anyway, scroll down a little bit more. You'll see the guest that we just added. It's a pretty big one. Although we haven't announced any of these, but King Randall, founder of the X for Boys here in Georgia, he's going to be here.
Nice.
This is a guy who at like 20, there's no descriptions yet.
That's
so
fine.
that's
Just
what's
blowing him up
launching.
a little bit.
Yeah. But this guy at like 23, something like that, he founded a private school here in Georgia where he just teaches boys how to be men. And, you know, he wasn't copying the government school model. And that created a lot of problems. The government fought him, and he now has his school. So it's going to be really cool to meet him and hear from him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What a
we're trying to
stud.
get anyone who vaguely falls under freedom in Georgia or surrounding areas to come out for this.
Heck
We're trying to build a really cool event here. And I mean, it's being bootstrapped together. It's, Zach found a good venue that works for this. It's cheap. It's a little out of the way, but you got to do what you got to do on this. But it's
I think it's actually central.
Yeah, I think it's central Georgia. It's very least.
Right. Yeah, it's just anyone in the Atlanta area complains that it's not in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, I'll complain. That's fine.
But I think you have to drive past Buc-ee's to get there, Jake. So.
Oh, perfect. Then it's okay.
It's perfectly fine because I think it's just south of Warner Robins. I think you have to go right past the Buc-ee's.
Yep, you do. I stopped there. So
everyone stops there. It's Buc-ee's. Yeah. How can you not? Well,
Which
yeah.
brings me to we'll hit that in the final segment.
We are in the final segment. Nick, Steve got here too late. Steve blew it. He's
I was excited about this one. I was getting my ass kicked at work, guys. Sorry.
Well, regardless, we're putting this together. If you if you have a business in Georgia or might have some want to potentially speak or something to share on this, reach out and let's get you involved. If you have a business and you want to be a vendor or a sponsor, we're looking for those. We need those.
Yes.
Things like this are take money to put on. So
yeah,
we're
also looking for any bands, musical artists, that kind of thing, who want to perform at a festival like this. We've got a few that are coming down from Nashville right now, but we always need more. If you know of a movie that would like to be screened that has any type of relation to this kind of a festival, please submit those to Elizabeth Melton over at operations@lpgeorgia.com and type in the Great Create in the subject line.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind this is that people show up and just show what they have going on. Like if it's, people that have homeschooling knowledge to share or firearms or whatever. We have all sorts of people like cheese making, beer making, showing up to just communicate their ideas and tell you how this is done. And there's really no limit to what that could be. Like we're, going to do like 3D printing and tech stuff. And
if you're a ham radio operator, come teach that. If you, something like that,
Yep, get in touch.
Yeah, Steven's going to be teaching ballet when he's there.
Well, fun fact, I was actually a Zumba instructor for a year and a half.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
You serious?
No, it started out as a way. So my mom had breast cancer and started out as a way to kind of get her excited about exercise. And so I was like, hey, there's a Zumba class. It'll be fun. I'll go with you. So that way, it was an excuse to go out to dinner a couple nights a week, things like that. And I got good at it. And, and then one day the instructor was like, I'm going on vacation. There's no one to fill in. Steven, you know the routines. Can you do this? I was like, yeah. And so I did. And then, the ladies in the front row requested me after that. And it just kind of stuck for a while. I was a fill-in instructor for a year and a half.
I would never have thought that ever. That's incredible. All right. Well, you. Let's teach that then. How about that's your class?
That'd be great.
You have to wear a leotard though. That's the condition.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
No, it'll be like yoga pants, and I'll put the the little bead things on that shake.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, yeah, Zach, you got anything else to say about the Great Create?
That's it. Just reach out if that meant anything to you and you want to get involved. Just talk to us.
Or know
Hey, I know a
anyone
guy that
who
made a
might wanna get
documentary not
involved.
long ago.
What's that?
We could probably air that there.
The documentary.
I think the documentary is being aired there. Boom.
There it is. All right.
We got Monopoly on Violence. We got some Daywalker comedy sketches coming. We've got a couple other films that we're trying to get to the festival as well. So it's going to be a full-on production. We're going to have a whole bunch of different things, a little bit for everybody, which is kind of the point. So, well, that's it for this week, y'all. Steven, sorry if you came on so late. You missed all the good stuff, but you can go back and rewatch it and live in agony for an hour.
There we go. Well, Mr. Casey, it was good to see you, although brief.
Thanks, Steve. Good to see you, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was just for a minute.
All right. So the thing I dislike about Jared the most
is the fact that he's not on here. Got it.
Well, there's that, but also he refuses to recognize Bucky's as something more than a gas station.
Well, that's true. That is infuriating. I am staying at his Airbnb in a couple weekends though, so I can't be too mad at him. All right, y'all. For everybody still on the air with us, thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to watch the Free Georgia podcast coming out on Tuesday morning or live on Monday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube and Rumble. Or you can just come back next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m. and we'll be here hanging out, talking Liberty and bringing you some videos and news and all sorts of stuff. So thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Well, thank you.